All right, good morning, folks. I think we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for coming out today. My name is Paley. I'm the director of the Maryland Robotics Center and a professor in the Department of Aerospace Engineering, the Institute for Systems Research. Really excited. Today is our 5th annual Maryland Robotics Center Annual Research Symposium, and this has been a really great event. We're experimenting a little bit differently this year. Normally, we have it at the end of the semester. This year, we're having it a bit earlier, and so we'll see. Hopefully, we get folks coming in today as they juggle their classes and teaching and so on and so forth. I really want to give a big thanks to our symposium organizers, Colin Belta and Chris Metzler. You guys did a great job, and we really appreciate all the time that you spent doing that. We've got a lot of presenters today. We've got some great speakers here, and we have a number of student posters as well. One of the goals of the symposium is to share with our community a little bit about the Maryland Robotics Center. So that's what I'm going to do now. So for those who are not familiar, the Maryland Robotics Center is an interdisciplinary research center that's housed within the Institute for Systems Research, which is within the Clark School of Engineering. Our physical location is in the Brendan E. Reeb Center and the Idea Factory. So if you have a chance today, please do go check out our labs. We have 2 labs, the drone lab and the manipulator lab on the 1st floor of the E. Reeb Center. And we have our robotics and autonomy lab on the 3rd floor of the Idea Factory. And our mission is joint between research and education goals and the application of robotics using a systems theoretic approach. Despite being housed in the School of Engineering, we have faculty from all across campus. In fact, at last count, we have 51 faculty members from 10 different departments at UMD. I like to say everywhere from aerospace to art, and everything in between. We're really fortunate in that we have a really tremendous administrative staff. So I do want to acknowledge Eric and Gabby and Yvonne. Eric is our assistant director who came on last fall and has done a tremendous job. Gabby is our education coordinator, Yvonne is our lab manager, and Michelle is our undergraduate communications assistant. So I also want to acknowledge everybody's, all the staff contributions to today's event, as well as last night's industry night. So we have 8 research areas under the Maryland Robotics Center, and the numbers in parentheses represent the faculty count. Those numbers add up to more than 51 because some faculty work in multiple areas. But you can see the research strengths that we have in autonomous systems, bio-inspired robotics, human-robot interaction, and multi-robot systems. It's especially important with the uncertainty in federal funding these days. We have a broad range of funding sources. So we have sponsored research awards from all across the federal government, ranging from DoD to NASA, NIST, and NIH. Some highlights here of faculty accomplishments. We have 2 recent NSF Career Award recipients. And for those who are not familiar, this is a Young Investigator Award given to junior faculty by the National Science Foundation. So we have 2 recipients of that award in the last 2 years, so we're really delighted about that. We have a number of really large active research grants from USDA and ARL. Yannis Alamonis is one of our CS faculty who was recently selected as an IEEE Fellow, which is one of the highest distinctions you can get within a professional society. So really delighted about that. And Min Woo from ECE has been selected as a distinguished university professor. Some of the media highlights for the Robotics Center include a recent federal grant to support medical delivery by drone. So this is led by our UAS Research Operations Center in Southern Maryland. The University of Maryland has also been selected as a funded participant in the latest DARPA Grand Challenge, which is a triage challenge that seeks to use drones and robots to assess the severity of injuries and mass casualty incidents. And we took 3rd place out of 11 in the year 1 competition. This is a 3-year challenge, and so we're really delighted to be going back for the 2nd round in this October. We also got a proclamation from our Congressman Glenn Ivey for the University of Maryland Autonomous Micro Air Vehicle Team, which was back-to-back champions of the NIST First Responder UAS Challenge. So I downloaded this 2 days ago. So we are now ranked 7th on csrankings.org for robotics specifically. So you can see we're right up there in the conversation with all of our aspirational peers, including UPenn. And the way this ranking works is that it takes account of papers presented at the top 3 robotics conferences, and you only count the faculty count there on the right column. You only count if you're actually if you have the ability to advise CS PhD students. And so, as a matter of fact, we're working on increasing the number of affiliations that our faculty have with the CS department, which actually further boost our ranking. They do not. They do not divide by the faculty count. So it's merely the number of papers that you have in the top 3 robotics conferences, which is a somewhat limited metric, but it has the benefit of being quantitative, whereas other ranking systems are more subjective. On the education side, I do want to say a few words. So the showcase of our graduate education programs is our Master of Engineering in Robotics. So this is a professional master's program offered in conjunction with the Maryland Applied Graduate Engineering, which is a unit in the Clark School of Engineering. On the undergraduate side, we launched in 2021 an undergraduate degree, which is a minor in robotics and autonomous systems. So we're very delighted to have that program grow now to over 100 students. We also offer a range of internships that we call the MRC Pathways program. So this was started in 2019, and there's a number of different flavors, but it offers internship experiences everywhere from graduate students to undergraduate students and to high school students. And so some of the flavors of pathways include pathway to the PhD, pathway to the profession, and pathway to entrepreneurship. So this has been a really great program, and it's a way for us to support our students. And another thing I did want to mention, I don't have on the slide here, is that the Maryland Robotics Center also supports students through a sponsorship of student teams. So we have another number of student competition teams that are supported by MRC. And then lastly, I'll mention that we have an incentive program for our undergraduate minor students. If they matriculate into the graduate program in robotics, then we have a tuition awards program to help defray the costs of the graduate tuition. But I do want to take a moment on a somber note to recognize that our previous assistant director, Anya Picard, who served MRC from 2010 to 2024 when she retired, unfortunately passed away earlier this spring due to complications from a stroke. So Anya was a longtime University of Maryland staff member with 25 years of service. She, prior to serving MRC, worked for the Center for Energetic Concepts in mechanical engineering. She was a tireless advocate for students. Her face would just light up whenever she interacted with students. She was fierce, she was determined, and she will be dearly missed. And so in honor of Anya, we are going to be renaming the Pathways program that I just mentioned, which supports many, many students across a wide range of levels. It will now, from this point forward, be called the Anya Picard Pathways program in her honor. I'm pleased today that we have Anya's son, Ian, here today. So I want to just give a round of applause to recognize how much Anya meant. So the family hasn't made arrangements yet for services, but as soon as that happens, I'll be certain to share that information with the MRC community, because I know many of you worked closely with Anya and would like to show your support. And then lastly, I did want to acknowledge some of our MRC external partners and sponsors. We are endorsed by the Advanced Robotics for Manufacturing Institute, or ARM Institute, has endorsed our graduate program. So that means we're promoted on their website, roboticscareers.org. We also have a 5-year cooperative agreement in the area of AI and autonomy with the Army Research Labs, who is a local partner here in the state of Maryland. And our aerial robotics lab that I mentioned in the eReap Center is courtesy of the Brin Family Foundation. We have in the past had several REU programs, which stands for Research Experience for Undergrads, supported by NSF. And our corporate sponsorships over the last few years have included gifts from Amazon Consumer Robotics, formerly Amazon Lab 126, and Microsoft. Both Amazon and Microsoft have sponsored PhD fellowships. Amazon sponsored a seed grant program, and with the help of Microsoft, we launched a national webinar series we call Future Leaders in Robotics. That's been a resounding success. And so really, really excited about the corporate partnerships that we have. So once again, thank you so much for coming. Really excited to have everybody come out today. We've got some really marvelous speakers and posters today. And I want to turn it over to Colin Belta, who is going to tell us about today's schedule.